My mom is 67. She eats chicken, eggs, Greek yogurt every single day. She's doing everything right. And yet, she told me last month her legs feel weaker than they did 2 years ago. How is that even possible?
Maya, that is the question. And honestly, it's the question that flipped everything I thought I knew about nutrition for people over 60. Because here's the thing, your mom isn't doing anything wrong. The problem is that after 60, eating enough protein is only half the battle.
Only half? What's the other half?
Your muscle cells have to actually respond to that protein, and after 60, they get a lot less sensitive to it. Scientists call it anabolic resistance. Basically, the signal that tells your muscles to grow and repair gets weaker with age, so you can eat perfectly and still slowly lose strength.
That is genuinely scary. So what do we do about it?
That's exactly what today's episode is about. We're going to talk about 5 specific fruits that research shows can reactivate those muscle-building pathways. Not replace your protein, but dramatically amplify how your body uses it. And the science behind some of these is really stunning.
I'm already taking notes. Listeners, get your notes out too, because this one is going to change how you think about your breakfast plate. Let's get into it.
Before we get to the fruits, I want to give everyone a 60-second biology lesson. Because once you understand this, everything else makes perfect sense.
Go for it. Keep it simple, though. Not everyone had a biochemistry degree like you did.
Fair enough. So here's the core issue. After 60, 3 things happen inside your muscles that make them harder to maintain. First, chronic low-grade inflammation. Researchers call it inflammaging. Essentially creates a chemical environment that breaks down muscle tissue faster than your body can rebuild it.
Even when you're not sick?
Even when you feel completely healthy. It's silent. Second, blood flow to muscle tissue decreases, which means nutrients, including protein, move more slowly to where they're needed. And third, your muscle satellite cells, which are basically the repair crew of your muscular system, become less active. They're dormant.
So it's like having a repair team that won't respond to calls.
Exactly. And this is where the fruits come in. Certain fruits contain bioactive compounds, polyphenols, specific amino acid profiles, healthy fats, antioxidants that directly address all 3 of those problems. They cool the inflammation, improve circulation, and in some cases, literally wake up those dormant muscle satellites.
Okay, I'm convinced. Let's go through them, starting with number 5.
Fruit 5. Jackfruit.
Okay, 1. Jackfruit. I've seen it in the store, but I've honestly never known what to do with it. Why is it on this list?
So jackfruit is interesting because most people think of it as just a trendy meat substitute, right? But the reason it matters for muscle building after 60 is more specific than that. A 2022 study from the International Food Sciences found something really unusual. Jackfruit's amino acid profile is structurally similar to animal-based proteins.
Wait, a fruit has a complete amino acid profile? I thought only meat and eggs did that.
That's the common assumption, and it's mostly true, but jackfruit is one of the rare exceptions. 1 cup gives you nearly 3 grams of protein with all essential amino acids. But what really makes it valuable at 60 plus is the supporting cast: potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6. And these 3 nutrients are what aging muscles specifically struggle to get enough of.
Why are those 3 so important?
So, potassium regulates muscle contraction. Without enough of it, your muscles misfire and cramp. Magnesium is your recovery mineral. It helps muscles relax and repair after even light activity. But B6 is the most critical one that nobody talks about. B6 is literally the enzyme cofactor that converts dietary protein into usable muscle tissue. Without adequate B6, the protein you eat can't complete the job.
So you could be eating all the right protein and B6 deficiency is like stealing the result?
That's a perfect way to put it. And researchers at the University of Sydney found that older adults consuming jackfruit regularly showed a 14% improvement in grip strength over 6 months. Now, grip strength sounds minor, but it's one of the most reliable biomarkers of longevity and physical independence in seniors.
Okay, how do people actually eat it? Because I stood in front of one at the grocery store for 5 minutes and had no idea what to do.
So the trick is to buy canned young jackfruit, not the fresh whole fruit. You'll find it in the international aisle. Drain it, pat it dry, sauté it with olive oil and garlic. It literally shreds like pulled chicken. Or if you want something easier, ripe jackfruit in a smoothie with almond milk and banana is genuinely delicious. One pro tip? Squeeze a little lemon juice on it. Vitamin C increases plant protein bioavailability by up to 30%.
I'm actually going to try that this week. All right, fruit number 4.
Fruit 4 is guava. And I want to spend a little extra time here because the anti-inflammatory science is genuinely impressive.
I love guava. I grew up eating it. I had no idea it was doing anything special for me.
You were ahead of the curve. So, guava has one of the highest protein contents of any fruit, over 4 grams per fruit. But that's not the headline. The headline is a compound called quercetin. A 2021 study in the journal Nutrients found that quercetin directly combats inflammaging, that chronic low-level inflammation we talked about at the start.
The silent fire in the muscles.
Exactly. And here's why this matters so practically. The University of Texas Health Science Center ran a clinical trial where adults over 70 who ate quercetin-rich foods daily for 8 weeks showed a 19% reduction in inflammatory markers and a corresponding increase in muscle protein synthesis. So when you reduce that inflammation, your muscles can actually use the protein you're giving them.
So quercetin is essentially removing the roadblock.
That's exactly what it is, and guava doubles down because it has 4 times more vitamin C than an orange. Vitamin C is critical for collagen production, which is the structural protein holding your muscles, tendons, and ligaments together. After 60, collagen synthesis slows down significantly, which is why so many people experience that general fragility or stiffness that feels like just getting old. But it doesn't have to be.
So guava is hitting inflammation, protein, and collagen all at once.
3 birds, 1 fruit. And the easiest way to maximize it? Eat your guava about 30 to 45 minutes before any kind of physical activity. Even a walk counts. Research shows having quercetin and protein in your bloodstream during exercise amplifies muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% compared to exercising on an empty stomach.
Pre-workout guava. That's my new thing. Okay, number 3. You teased this one earlier, something about mitochondria?
Fruit 3, dried mulberries.
Okay, dried mulberries. I'll be honest, I've never once bought these in my life.
Most people haven't, which is such a missed opportunity because dried mulberries have this extraordinary combination that's almost designed for aging muscles. A quarter cup gives you 4 grams of protein and 2 grams of iron, and that protein-iron pairing is really significant.
Why iron specifically?
Iron is what carries oxygen to your muscles through your blood. Without enough oxygen, muscle cells can't generate energy or repair themselves, no matter how much protein you eat. A 2023 study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults with low iron levels experienced muscle loss at nearly double the rate of those with adequate levels. So mulberries are giving you protein and the delivery system for it at the same time.
But you mentioned resveratrol. I've heard that word, but mostly in the context of red wine.
Right, exactly. Resveratrol got famous from the red wine research. But here's what most people don't know. Dried mulberries contain resveratrol in significantly higher concentrations than red wine, and obviously with none of the alcohol, which actually impairs muscle recovery in older adults.
So you get the benefit without the downside.
Precisely. And the mechanism is fascinating. Resveratrol activates a gene pathway called SIRT1, sometimes called the longevity gene switch. When SIRT1 is activated, it signals your muscle cells to behave more like younger cells, repairing damage faster, producing more mitochondria, and resisting the breakdown signals that cause sarcopenia.
Okay, explain mitochondria for people who maybe last heard that word in high school biology.
Perfect analogy coming. Think of every muscle cell as a factory. Mitochondria are the power plants running that factory. After 60, those power plants start shutting down one by one, which is why you feel more fatigued, why your endurance drops, why recovery takes longer. Researchers at the Buck Institute for Research on Aging found that resveratrol supplementation in older adults improved mitochondrial function in muscle cells by up to 22%. Mulberries are essentially restarting those power plants.
That is a wild thing to be able to say about a snack you just eat out of a bag.
And that's the best part. 0 prep required. Eat them like raisins, sprinkle them on oatmeal, mix them with almonds. One pairing tip though, Eat them with any vitamin C source, like orange slices, because vitamin C increases iron absorption by up to 67%. More iron, more oxygen, faster recovery. Straight from the bag like raisins, or mixed with almonds and dark chocolate. Always pair with a vitamin C source to maximize iron absorption by up to 67%. Fruit 2. Avocado.
Okay, this one I eat all the time, but I thought avocado was about healthy fats, not muscle building.
This one blew my mind when I first read the research. So yes, avocado is famous for monounsaturated fat, but here's what that fat is actually doing inside your body at the cellular level that nobody explains.
Tell me everything.
Every muscle cell in your body is surrounded by a membrane, basically a protective wall made primarily of fat. And as you age, those membranes become stiff and rigid. When that happens, nutrients, including protein, have a much harder time getting inside the cell where they're actually needed. The monounsaturated fats in avocado repair and rejuvenate those cell membranes, making them more flexible and permeable so that nutrients can actually flow in efficiently.
So it's not just about eating protein, it's about whether your cells can even receive it.
Exactly. A landmark 2022 study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society followed nearly 2,800 adults over 65 for 3 years. Those who ate avocado at least 3 times per week retained significantly more muscle mass and had measurably better physical function, even when total protein intake was identical to the group that didn't eat avocado. Same protein, better results because of cell membrane health.
That is such a powerful finding. What else is in avocado that's relevant?
2 more things worth knowing. First, avocado has more potassium than a banana. Most people think banana when they think potassium, but avocado is actually richer, and potassium is essential for proper muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Second, avocados are one of the best food sources of glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant. It protects muscle cells from oxidative damage and has been shown in clinical studies to slow the progression of sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss.
Okay, so the fat protects the cell wall, potassium fires the muscle, and glutathione guards against breakdown. That's a complete package.
And it takes 30 seconds to prepare. Cut it open, add salt, eat with a spoon. Or mash it on whole grain toast, blend it into a smoothie for creaminess, dice it into eggs. The timing tip, eat avocado within 1 hour after any form of exercise. That post-exercise window is when your muscles are most receptive to nutrients, and avocado's fat, protein, potassium combination is ideal for that window.
Post-workout avocado toast. I can work with that. Okay, the big one, number 1. You said this was going to leave us speechless. Half an avocado with salt straight from the shell or blended into a post-workout smoothie. The post-exercise window is when avocado's cell membrane benefits are most powerful.
Fruit 1. Dried apricots. Okay, dried apricots, and I'm going to start with the research because it is genuinely remarkable. A 2023 study conducted at Harvard Medical School, published in the journal Cell Metabolism, looked at specific nutrients in dried apricots, particularly the combination of beta-carotene and certain polyphenolic compounds, and what they did to muscle satellite cells in participants aged 72 to 89.
And satellite cells are the repair crew you mentioned earlier.
Right, they're the stem cells of your muscular system. They sit dormant on the surface of muscle fibers, and when activated, they fuse with damaged tissue to repair it and can even generate entirely new muscle. The problem is that after age 70, muscle satellite activation drops dramatically. That's one of the primary reasons muscle loss accelerates in the later decades.
So what did the Harvard study find?
Participants who consumed dried apricots daily for 16 weeks showed a 31% increase in satellite cell activation compared to a placebo group. And this wasn't just a lab number. It translated into measurable improvements in leg strength, walking speed, and the ability to stand up from a seated position without assistance. The lead researcher presenting these findings at a gerontology conference said they had never seen a single food produce such a profound effect on the cellular machinery of muscle repair in elderly subjects.
A 31% increase from eating dried apricots? I don't have words for that.
And the compound driving this, amygdalin, is found naturally in apricots, in small, safe amounts. You don't need to supplement, you just eat the fruit. What about the potassium you mentioned before? Because I know potassium keeps coming up. Half a cup of dried apricots contains over 1,100 milligrams of potassium. That's nearly a quarter of your entire daily requirement from one snack. And there's copper too, which most nutrition content completely ignores. A 2021 study in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that adequate copper intake was associated with a 28% reduction in tendon and ligament injury risk in adults over 70. Dried apricots protect not just the muscle, but everything that holds the muscle to the bone.
Okay, I have one practical question, because I've seen dried apricots in two versions, the bright orange ones and the darker brownish ones. Does it matter which you buy?
It really does, and this is a detail most people miss. The bright orange ones are treated with sulfur dioxide as a preservative, and research suggests that sulfur dioxide reduces the bioavailability of beta-carotene and the polyphenolic compounds that are responsible for the satellite cell activation effect. You want the unsulfured variety. They're darker brown, less pretty, but nutritionally far more potent. Look for unsulfured or no sulfur dioxide on the label.
Dark and humble, my kind of fruit. And how do you eat them?
Simplest, 6 to 8 dried apricots as a mid-morning or mid-afternoon snack. That timing gives your body the longest window to absorb nutrients before your overnight fast. Or mash it into oatmeal. Mix with the dried mulberries we talked about earlier for the ultimate muscle-building trail mix, or simmer it in a little water for 5 minutes to make a warm compote that's gentle on sensitive teeth.
The apricot and mulberry trail mix. That's going on my grocery list right now. Choose unsulfured dried apricots, darker brown color. The sulfur dioxide in bright orange versions reduces the bioavailability of satellite cell activating compounds. Mid-morning or mid-afternoon is the optimal eating window. Okay, Alex, before we wrap up, let's give everyone the full picture quickly, because there are a lot of fruits and a lot of science. What's the one-sentence case for each?
Perfect. So, jackfruit, complete amino acids plus the B6 that actually converts protein into muscle tissue. Guava, the quercetin anti-inflammatory that removes the roadblocks so your muscles can finally use what you're eating. Dried mulberries, the resveratrol that restarts your mitochondrial power plants and keeps your cells repairing like younger cells. Avocado, the healthy fats that repair your cell membranes so protein can actually get inside the muscle cell. And dried apricots, the satellite cell activator, backed by Harvard research that literally reawakens your body's own muscle repair crew.
None of these require fancy cooking. None of them need to replace what you're already eating. They just need to be added alongside it.
Exactly right. This isn't about overhauling your diet, it's about plugging specific nutritional gaps that emerge after 60, gaps that your protein cannot fill.
And I think what I love most about this conversation is it gives people agency. You're not just accepting weakness as inevitable. There are real, affordable, accessible foods that address the actual biological mechanisms of muscle loss.
And the earlier you start, even at 60, 65, you have more runway to make a real difference. Muscle loss is not a cliff, it's a slope, and these foods help you stop sliding.
Beautifully put. Okay, listeners, one thing I want to hear from you in the comments today. Tell us your age and whether you feel stronger or weaker than you did 2 years ago. We read every single comment, and we want to know where you're starting from, because this is a journey we're doing together.
And if you found today's episode valuable, share it with someone you love who is over 60. This information genuinely matters, and most people are not getting it from their doctors.
Hit subscribe if you're new, ring that bell so you never miss an episode. And Alex, same time next week?
Same time next week. Take care of yourselves, everyone.